hope that you have a wonderful Veterans Day. And then we walk away just really encouraged by our students today. Up first will be our 6th grade band under the direction of Abby Toussaint. Thank you.
Good morning, welcome students, teachers, and special guests for Fayette Elementary celebration of Veterans. We are here to learn more about Veterans Day. We are here to show our spirit of patriotism and sing about what it means to be American. We are here to honor all men and women who have served in the military and in war in times of peace. Please stand as the flags are brought forward by the color guard. We are remain standing for the pledge of allegiance and stars from heaven.
Detail. Oh. Post the colors. Present. Turn. Order. Order.
On September 14, 1814, Francis Marquis saw the American flag floating in the breeze after the defeat of September. The sight of our flag has been a proud and aftermath of war right under the college. The goal was such a move to be able to start from the north. Please feel such a good and shoot our national anthem.
For the
They want us to know we appreciate their service. We honor them and their families for the sacrifice. But all veterans feel a need to stand and be recognized.
Today we are honored to have Mr. Larry Schultz as our guest speaker. Mr. Schultz lives in Posco with his wife Diane and has 4 adult children. Mr. Schultz was in the Army from 1971 to 1973. Please welcome Mr. Larry Schultz.
Move this over real bit. Because I had planned on speaking to most of the kids instead of adults. So, yes, I'm Larry Schultz. I'm a plumber from Postville. Been a plumber for about 40 years or so. We're married to Diane, my wife, for 44 years. We do have 4 children and 5 grandchildren. Actually, I'm more connected to this school than I thought, because your principal, Mr. Elliott, actually grew up about a block from my house in Postville. So we have a good Postville connection. And also Mrs. Botts is in our Sunday school class. So just want to, Veterans Day actually started, I'm not sure when, but it's always going to be November 11th, because that's when the First World War ended, on the 11th hour, the 11th day of the 11th month. So it's 11/11/11. And it is also to recognize all soldiers that are going to do that. All soldiers that have ever served in the armed forces. The armed forces, in the armed forces, there's six different services, forms of services. There's Army, and then these are in no particular order. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and the last one is Space Forces, which I haven't looked at. Just out of curiosity, for the kids, how many kids have parents that are veterans? Would you raise your hands? Quite a few. Okay. How many have relatives, either an aunt, uncle, brother, sister, that are veterans? Good. Wow. Thank you. Okay. One way we can, what most veterans want is just to be recognized, just to be acknowledged. One way you can acknowledge them, and we just got a piece of paper, it says, "Thank you for your service." That's one thing you can tell a veteran, and so we're going to practice. Kids, what are you going to say when you see a veteran? You're going to say, "Thank you for your service." Let's try it again, a little louder. Thank you for your service. Thank you. That's all they want. Now you remember, well, you may not remember, last May, the end of May, is another holiday. It's called Memorial Day. Now it's kind of a relative of Veterans Day in the fact that it honors servicemen, but the Memorial Day you probably don't remember because you were trying to get out of school, trying to get away from your teachers, and enjoying the summer vacation. But it is Memorial Day, and it honors the servicemen that their lives were taken during a war. So that's the difference between the two. They are related, but the one thing they have in common is they were there to protect our country and that thing hanging over there, the flag of the United States of America. Does any kids have a relative that lost their life in the war? Okay. If you notice the flag, you probably know that, and I don't think I have enough to reach it. You see 13 stripes, right? 13 stripes are for what? 13 colonies. There's 50 stars. What are the 50 stars for? Okay, the next question is which stars for the state of Iowa? Actually, there is one. I had a little, Mr. Google told me this morning. What it was. They are in order of when they were seated to the union, or when they joined the union. So there is a top one. But anyway, when you say the Pledge of Allegiance, you are remembering the people that served this country to protect that flag, to protect our country, to protect our way of life. We are very fortunate to live in the United States of America. We're fortunate to be able to go to school. We're fortunate to have a home. We're fortunate to be able to be in chorus or in band, play sports, listen to any kind of music you want to, go to any church you want to. You can travel wherever you want to. Have you ever been to Patriotic in Wisconsin? Okay. What separates Wisconsin from Iowa? The mighty Mississippi. Okay, so if you want to go to Wisconsin, the Prairie Machine, how do you get there? A bridge, okay? So in many countries, if you were going to go to Wisconsin and you go to the bridge, in many countries you're going to find that there's armed guards there with weapons stopping you, and you have three choices. They'll let you through, or they will send you back, or they will put you in prison. We're very fortunate here in the United States. You can go to any of the states and you don't have any of those issues. You can go from state to state. The Pledge of Allegiance honors the flag, and the flag represents the United States of America. How many have watched the Olympics and watched the top three people? You get a gold, silver, or a bronze. When they play, when they stand on the podium, what is above them? Do you remember? A flag. Which flag is it? The flag that they represent. Do you ever notice their faces when they're playing their national anthem? How proud they are of that flag. That's something that I really enjoy watching. Is the faces of them, because they are so proud to represent their country. When you say the Pledge of Allegiance, you are honoring God. You're honoring your country, the great state of Iowa, your community, whether it be West Union, Fayette, I'm going to forget that, Elgin, Claremont, Hawkeye, any others I missed? No, you're not in attendance. El Rio, that's right. Okay. Anyway, you're representing communities and also your families. When you say the Pledge of Allegiance, it's only like a 10-second, 15-second thing, but I want you to stop and think about the words that you're saying as you're saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Think about every word, and you don't rush through it. Sometimes you say it every day, so you kind of forget what it means. Kind of like saying the Lord's Prayer too many times, a lot of times. You kind of just rush through it. But I want you to think about what those words mean, and think about the veterans that serve to protect that. Think about the opportunities we have in America that you don't have in other countries. My prayer to each one of you is that you will, at some point, or if you don't now, love your country and love that flag as much as I do, and respect it. I'd like you all to stand once more, if you are able. And we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance again. What's the first thing you do? stand up is first thing. You stand up. Next thing you do is what? Let's face the flag. Then not in particular order. Face the flag. Then what? Stand at attention. And what's the last thing? Put your hand on your heart. What does that show? That shows respect for the flag. And then you start singing the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. And what are we going to tell a veteran? One more time. Thank you.
A soldier who has served his or her country in the armed forces. The story of Veterans Day begins with World War I. 35 countries fought for 5 years from 1914 to 1918. The United States fought in the war from 1917 to 1918. Finally, the countries got fighting. The leaders signed an agreement called the Armistice. They signed the armistice on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. The armistice meant that the war was over. Americans were very happy to hear about the armistice. No more soldiers would die in the war. The soldiers could come home. People went out into the streets and laughed and danced. They blew horns and whistled. They rang bells and they sang songs. They thought there would never be another war. President Wilson made November 11th a holiday to remember the end of the war. The holiday was called Armistice Day. At 11 o'clock in the morning, everyone stopped doing whatever they were doing. We were completely silent for 1 minute. This minute was to remember all the soldiers who had died in the wars. The body of the unknown soldier was brought to America from the cemetery in France. His body was buried in a tomb at Arlington National Cemetery. It was called the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. On Veterans Day, there are special services at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. In 1954, President Eisenhower officially changed the name from the holiday from Armistice Day to Veterans Day. Americans remember and honor our veterans on this day. Now our fifth and fourth graders will sing America the Beautiful.
Of all the military bugle calls, none is so easily recognized as the call of taps. It began during the Civil War when Union General Daniel Butterfield wanted a new bugle call to signal the end of day or lights out. He reworked an older tune into the melody we know today as taps. It was first played in 1862 and soon became a part of military funerals for both Union and Confederate soldiers. It is still played today at military funerals across America. Please stand and remember those who have died in service to our country as the 6th grade trumpeters play taps.
President John Fergus Kennedy once said, "As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them." Today, we promise that we will remember with honor the heroes who have served to secure our freedom. We will do our best to make ourselves worthy of our courage and sacrifices. On this dawn early light, we vow to do our best to live with the spirit by which our nation veterans so nobly served, the spirit of courage, the spirit of honor, the spirit of America. Thank you to the members of the American Legion's Post 339 for participating in our program. Please stand as the members of the color guard retire the colors.
Detail. And here are the colors. Detail. About face. Forward, march. Detail. Halt.
To members of American Legion Post 339 of Fayette, to the NFV 6th grade band directed by Abigail Toussaint, to our speaker Larry Schultz, and to our veterans in attendance today, we are honored by your presence. Thank you for coming today.